What's up, guys? So it is February 10th. Today is Monday. We're back out here finally to finish up working on the motor here. I got a fuel pump gasket came in so we can finally put that back together. I was waiting on this gasket and then I got sick. And then I've just been so low energy after work, after recovering from being sick, that I just haven't gotten around to this yet. But we're going to try and at least get these gaskets on here, fuel pump on there, bolted on. Might even try and put the get the intake torqued on there. But for sure we're going to put oil in it and prime the oil pump with the drill and make sure that it has, you know, good oil flow to the rockers. Pardon me. So that's what we're going to be after tonight. Again, maybe we'll get the intake on. I kind of doubt it. You know, I'm not really feeling super up to it tonight anyway, but it'll be one step closer to getting this motor back in the truck. So here we go. Alright, back out in the shop. It is February 15th. We got snow out there today. It snowed pretty good last night. It's supposed to snow some more this weekend. It's Saturday. It's supposed to snow some more this weekend. Really need to get this thing back up going so I can do some plowing. Plan for today is we're going to take this thing. Not going to use this intake. It's just sitting on there for the fun of it. We're going to take it like so. I'm going to drop it in the truck, just like this, and then I'm going to put the intake on it in the truck, just because it's going to be easier, I think. I got to think about that in a minute. But it'll probably be easier to hook it up with the chains, get it in the truck, if I can have access to these bolt holes, and it's kind of a pain in the butt when you got to already have it torqued down and then got to pull the bolts in and out, whatever. So we're going to get it in the truck as quick as we can, get that intake with that carburetor. The reason I was thinking about using this one, but this one doesn't have a thermostat in it. I don't have a new thermostat gasket, and then I don't have a new carburetor gasket, and I'm pretty sure that one's not going to come off nice. So that's why I'm staying with that intake. I like this intake better, honestly, but I just thought to put this one on this motor so that I can have that one available for when I rebuild the block next time. Anyway, but I got to get, you know, like the silicone on the front and the back. I need that to dry as long as possible before I fire it up and get oil pressure pushing on that silicone. It needs to dry for quite a while. So we're gonna set it down in the truck as quick as I can, get that intake on there, get it goobered up with silicone, torque it down, and then work on hooking all the stuff back up to a transmission, bell housing, torque converter, the engine support brackets that go on the sides and motor mounts, that kind of stuff. All that I'm going to work on after I get that intake laid back on there. And then that's probably going to have to sit a little while after I finish that before I start it, but I can at least like get the distributor in and hopefully get the wires run properly and get it all ready to go. So it just has to sit with that silicone on there. That's the plan. Okay, well, as usual, it took longer than I was hoping it would, but it's in there. It's correctly on the motor mounts on each side. It is mated to the transmission. Let's see if we can get a look at that back there. You can't really tell. There's so much stuff in the way, but nope, that's worse. Anyway, it is mated to the transmission in the back. None of the bolts are in there, but it's on those lugs, whatever those are. Can't think of the word at the moment. Anyway, so it's in, and I'm ready to go ahead and silicone this up, put in the intake gaskets, and torque the intake manifold down so that it can sit and dry the rest of the day. So that's what we're about. Okay, intake's on there. It's all tightened down on there. I'm gonna break for lunch. Come back out here, maybe get the valve covers on, and put the distributor in, and then try and do some of the underside bolts. But if that's all I get done for today, that's all right. It's got to sit and dry quite a while before I can run this thing anyway. So, anywho, that's where we're at. Okay, so I might have skipped a little bit in filming, but truck runs again. Just went and got some hay with it. Here we are. I don't have it running right now. I'll get a clip of that in a minute, but I'm just happy to have it out of the garage. Feels good. I like driving this thing, so I'm glad it's functional again. That was kind of a bummer to have the motor melt down and not be able to use it, but should be good now, so that's great.